Today, U.S. Supreme Court nominee Ketanji Brown Jackson described herself as, quote, an independent jurist while facing her first round of tough questions from members of the Senate Judiciary Committee. The federal judge was pressed today on her past cases and her judicial philosophy. CBS's Skylar Henry has more from Capitol Hill.
On day 2 of her confirmation hearings, U.S. Supreme Court nominee Ketanji Brown Jackson said her judicial philosophy is to be impartial and interpret the facts of each case.
As a judge in our system, I have limited power, and I am trying in every case to stay in my lane.
She also noted the importance of diversity on the High Court as the first black woman nominated.
It supports public confidence in the judiciary when you have different people, because we have such a diverse society.
Senate Republicans have characterized Judge Jackson as soft on crime and questioned her past sentences in child pornography cases.
I made sure that the victims, the children's perspectives were represented, and I also imposed prison terms and significant supervision and other restrictions.
During questioning, Judge Jackson said the First Amendment applies to conservatives and liberals equally. The Second Amendment is a fundamental right, and landmark rulings regarding abortion are settled law. But she refused to weigh into the conversation on whether the court should be expanded, calling it political.
I believe that judges are not policymakers.
The president watched portions of Judge Jackson's hearing yesterday and today and is proud of the way she is showcasing her extraordinary qualifications.
The White House says President Biden is receiving regular updates on the confirmation hearings. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Tomorrow, Judge Jackson will face another round of questioning from members of the committee. Thursday, the American Bar Association is expected to testify as to why they rated her well qualified to serve on the U.S. Supreme Court. Senate Democrats are confident they have the votes to confirm Judge Jackson, and they say they want to wrap up the confirmation process early next month.
Big-time low pressure working through the southern states, providing them with a chance for severe weather. For us, while we do have showers and even a couple of strong storms in the forecast, the severe weather looks to remain to our south. Nothing like that this afternoon. It's beautiful. Mountain Parkway at Slade, that filtered sunshine out there. We're looking all good at the moment. As we look out there, temperatures, man, are they nice. Mid-70s right now at many of our locations. Jackson, Hazard, Middlesboro, and Jacksboro all checking in at 75, and it's 76 in Prestonsburg, though it is a bit breezy out there as we start to see a few more of those high clouds working in. We're not done with the showers, though. You see off to our north and west, southern parts of Indiana seeing some showers. And then we take you to the south. Severe thunderstorm, tornado warnings crossing the Mississippi-Alabama border. A big-time severe weather day out there where they've got the ingredients in place. For us, showers do move in overnight, though not a huge severe weather threat. Upper 50s to near 60 overnight. Breezy conditions with showers. I'll have the very latest on when those showers look to move in, finally coming up in just a minute. Steve?
All right, thank you very much. Well, a developing story this afternoon. Around 1:30, a fire broke out at the Kentucky River Regional Jail in Perry County. Hazard Fire Chief Robert Keith says they responded by 2 p.m. Upon arrival, they did find smoke coming from the roof. After putting out the flames, investigators determined the fire began in a dryer vent. No injuries to staff, inmates, or firefighters are reported at this time. Today is World Water Day, a chance to focus on one of the most important resources in our day-to-day lives. Billions of people across the globe do not have access to safe, clean drinking water. And while getting that resource to those in need is a challenge, everyone can do their part to conserve. Don't leave water running while you brush your teeth, and take shorter showers as a way to cut down on your usage. You can learn more about saving water at worldwaterday.org. Students at Lemons Mill Elementary in Georgetown are learning a very important lesson about water. That lesson isn't being taught by teachers, but instead by the first grade class. Throughout the day, they taught lessons on the challenges people face around the world to get clean water and how pollution and other factors impact water supplies as well. The fifth graders are also raising money to provide a well for families and children in South Sudan. This initiative was all started by the students after reading Long Walk to Water.
It's about how a little boy in South Sudan had to face challenges of getting clean water. He had to travel 4 miles a day, and so the kids have just been wanting to raise awareness about how clean water is such a privilege here in America.
During their fundraiser, the students were able to raise more than $3,000. It will go directly to the organization in South Sudan, which will put in a new well for those in need. In the battle for Ukraine, Ukrainian troops are holding their own, but Russian missiles are still inflicting heavy damage across the nation. Ukrainian officials say 3 people died when Russian missiles slammed a psychiatric hospital in the city of Mykolaiv. Many people remain cut off from supplies across Ukraine, but the military has made some progress stifling the Russian advance. As the war drags on, the Biden administration is warning of a possible cyber attack from Russia, potentially targeting critical American infrastructure.
Based on evolving intelligence, we believe that attacks could occur. Now, the Russians have spent years preparing the ground for attacks.
Cybersecurity experts tell CBS News they are particularly concerned about potential attacks on the U.S. financial sector, power grid, and water systems. The president told top American business leaders they have a patriotic duty to prepare their companies and that the potential for Russia to inflict even more intense violence is likely. Aid groups are rushing to get orphans in Ukraine out of harm's way. It's estimated about 100,000 children are in orphanages there as Russian forces drive deeper into the country. CBS's Tina Kraus reports.
These Ukrainian orphans have been on the move for days, escaping the violence unfolding around them. She says maybe Britain will be our new home. With the help of a Scottish charity, they're headed to the UK.
All we want to do is give them safe, temporary sanctuary in Britain until the war's over and it's safe for them to go home.
Hundreds of others are already getting settled in their new homes. These kids found shelter in Lithuania. For so many children so young, the journey out of Ukraine is a long one, and a potentially dangerous one too.
There is a huge risk of vulnerable children being trafficked or being victim of false adoption.
Some of the most vulnerable orphans have reached relative safety at this hospital in Kyiv. Doctors are rushing to perform life-saving surgeries.
He will need open heart surgery.
These babies were abandoned before the invasion began and have spent the first months of their tiny lives fighting for survival. Tina Kraus, CBS News.
The State Department says in 2020, Americans adopted 211 children from Ukraine, but during the conflict, adoptions have been put on hold, leaving many U.S. families in limbo. Coming up on First at 4, amid the ongoing microchip shortage, experts are calling for federal funding to increase production here in the United States.
And showers are back in the forecast as soon as tonight. I've got the very latest on when those showers move in coming up.
WYMT News app offers alerts on breaking